Hi kids, today we're making hummus. Very easy to make, always turns out great. People love it and it's very good for you. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a can of ceci or chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans. This is a regular old can, 15 ounces, that's what you'll find in the store. You're going to need tahini, which is crushed or ground sesame seeds. You may have to go to a specialty store, although here in St. Louis we're able to find it right at our just regular grocery store. You're going to need some minced garlic. Here's a super helpful tip. Just buy it. Just buy it already minced. It's so much easier to use. Once you open it, you have to put it in the fridge. And then some sea salt, regular table salt will do as well. A can opener and a colander for the ceci. So the first thing to do is to, you'll also need some olive oil, which here it is right over here. You're also going to need a little bit of olive oil for flavor. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open up the ceci and drain them and rinse them. Really important to do that or they'll taste pretty nasty. There's a trick here, and that is, that you may need to add some water. You may want to add some water to the hummus as you make it so that it's not too thick. So I always keep this can and put a little water. Room temperature is fine. And then rinse your, come on over here, take a look. Rinse the chickpeas or the ceci, just like that, just to make sure they've got the stuff off them. And they don't have to be dry before you use them. So let me grab a big spoon, and you'll see that the measurements here are pretty approximate, but that's okay. All right. One other thing you're going to need is a food processor. That's a little expensive, but I recommend you get one. They're very useful. Okay, so 1 can of chickpeas, garbanzo beans, or if you're Italian, ceci. And do it in this order because you'll find the spoon gets a little sticky after you use the tahini. So 1 good-sized spoonful, this is a soup spoon that I'm using, of minced garlic. Just stick it in there like that. Now you can just let that rinse a little bit in the water. A similar sized dollop of the tahini. Once you've done this a couple, see that's a pretty good size dollop. I like that. It tastes a little bitter. I kind of like the taste that it gives. Then you're going to need a splash of olive oil. Doesn't really matter. We can add this later. And then for the zip, we're going to need about 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and that's between 1 and 1.5 lemons. So I'm just going to go get those. And 1.5 will be a little bit lemony, but that's the way I like it. You can vary this if you want. You're going to see how easy it is to make hummus. This is one of those things that you make that actually is better the next day, although it's going to be very tasty as soon as we're done. So I'm just squeezing the lemon juice in here, and that's going to be pretty wet, but we'll probably need to add some water. Okay, so there we go. So can of chickpeas, a big dollop of minced garlic, a big dollop of tahini, a splash of olive oil, and 1 to 1.5 good-sized lemons. We'll get this set up. And you just want to let this rip for a little while, just enough to get everything mixed together. And then I like to take a little taste. And you can come on in here and you'll see that this is very chunky still and it's really thick. But we'll take a taste of this. Lemony. Good. Now, that's good. So one thing it's going to need, you can see how pasty it is we'll pour a little of this water in. Just a splash. You can kind of sneak up on it if you want. And it's definitely going to need some salt. But don't overdo the salt. So I'll just sprinkle some in, go around a few times. That's probably going to do it, but we'll see. Now the second time you hit this, you're going to be getting closer to the consistency you want, and that's really up to you. Some people like it super smooth, and some people like it a little more chunky. So just kind of sneak up. So you'll end up doing it. So you'll end up putting it in the food processor, using the food processor twice or maybe 3 times. The first time to mix it to get a taste of things. The second time to try to get it just the right consistency and chunkiness or smoothness, however you want it. Now, one other thing, it may look, it can be a little wetter than you like it when you take it out of the food processor. It will dehydrate a little bit. So this is a little wet, but that's going to be perfect in just a couple of hours. I'm not sure that's good. Let me try not. That's good. I think maybe just a tad more salt and a little more zap. So you see what I'm doing? I'm kind of sneaking up on the salt and sneaking up on the consistency. And all of these recipes, including this one, are very robust to uncertainty or how much stuff you put in. So don't worry about it. Just enjoy how it comes out every time. It's going to be great. Okay, now we're going to remove this. Set that down there. Remember, those blades are sharp, so you have to be careful. We get a nice looking bowl. Put this in something that's maybe the opposite color, so green or red is good. And then a rubber spatula to get the job done. So just carefully remove the hummus from the blades. We'll set that aside. And then just, let's trade places here, since I'm right-handed. And just, now this is very wet, so it just pours right in. That's not very wet, but it's a little wet. This is going to, and I like mine a little thicker, which means this is going to work out perfectly after it's been sitting for an hour or 2. Now this will keep for a while, so you can put it in the refrigerator right away if you're not going to use it, or you can leave it out. It won't go bad quickly. There's not much in here other than, well, you know what's in here. So that's going to be fine. And you can see that's pretty good looking. When you serve it, drizzle it with some good olive oil. Maybe, I don't know, what else would we put on there? Maybe some paprika if you'd like to have a little bit of a color. And that's it. That is how to make hummus. No more than 4. Takes a few minutes to do. People will love it. Maybe another time I'll show you how to grill pita. Perfect with this, but you can use it with bread, crackers, whatever you want. Thanks a lot.